Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where this deck that you see here is going to be sharing a message with us. Because I realized the other day I haven't actually done this. I haven't done a reading with this awesome deck. Boadiceas Tarot of Earthly Delights, created by Caroline Kenner, with Paula Millett, deck creator and artist. I believe. Well, I don't have to believe. I actually looked it up. It is created or published by, if we can get that symbol right there, Red Feather Publishing. And it is one of the most interesting, beautiful, weird, creative decks that I've ever seen in my life. I'm rather obsessed with this deck lately. It is absolutely fantastic. Like, just the illustrations, the backs, everything. I did an unboxing video of it not too long ago. I've been sharing it on Instagram in a challenge I've been doing. And it's just, I fell in love with it. I love it. It's absolutely incredible. Over here we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Prospero the Tempest, William Shakespeare, one of the most creative people that we remember today, hundreds and hundreds of years later. Now just check out those backs. How weird and fun are those backs? Like, I love this deck. And there is the gold folded edges, or gilded edges. I don't know. Gold edges. You see them there. And they're big cards, so shuffling them is not easy, but the way that I shuffle, if you may have seen it before, makes it super duper uber easy to shuffle. Let's get the box out of the way and get right to it, shall we? As always, I want to begin this by thanking you. You are the reason that I have a voice, and I would not have a voice without you. So for that, I thank you. There is nothing specific going on. I'm going to do the present future advice spread that I have absolutely loved. I share it nearly every festival. I think it is every face-to-face reading that I've ever done. That is the spread I go with, because that present, the here and now, that is what we must appreciate that present moment. See where we are, get grounded and focused. This is where I am in my life right now. And then the future it's never written. It's always up to chance and change. We can get an idea of what that future holds, but that future is not set in stone. So it's up to us to make it happen, or up to us to avoid it if it's not something we want to achieve. And then, of course, the advice position. The advice position might be the best position of this spread, because it's the advice, the guidance that the powers that be have for us. That is a lot of what we use the tarot for. It's not at all, I feel, about predicting the future. We can get an idea for it, but the real power of the tarot relies in that self-reflection, that guidance. What do we need to know in this present moment to make the best of our lives in the here and now? It's about inspiration. It's about empowerment. At least that's how I use the cards. So the cards are shuffled. They're into 3 piles, so they have been cut. Set this, and now we have our shuffled deck ready to share its message. 1 card at a time is what we are going to do. So right now, we're just going to focus on the here and now, the present. And this one, you can see it plain as day, just like I can. It's like, hey, pick me. There's the hand with the eye. Slightly creepy, but that's what makes it awesome. So we have this card right here. I'm going to set it right there. And it is the 10 of Combustion, aka the 10 of Wands. Now this deck, you might not think of it as a beginner or anything like that. And I mean, beginner decks there's a lot of great ones out there that might be better than this. But this deck, I feel like you could, if you love it and you want to start reading the tarot, then it absolutely is possible. Because combustion, you think of that, you think about it being fire. Fire is very much the suit of passion, which is very much the suit of wands. So we know combustion is very much the suit of wands. So we have this illustration, and this is the 10 of the suit. So it's overwhelmed and overburdened. Too many irons in the fire, too many things going on, and this illustration kind of screams that. See all the cogs and everything coming out of her head? You can see right here too, where that one is going towards the past and one is going towards the future. You see all that stuff at the past. You see that potential for the future. But in the here and now, you might just be sitting there like, I can't keep up. I can't keep all this going on. Here's this weird little flying dragon dude, and I feel like that shows that passion can take us forward, that passion can lead us to better times. But the issue being, we feel too overwhelmed in the here and now. Personally, I can definitely relate to this. The more passionate you are, the more that passion leads you, the more you might find other passions that inspire you too. I always like make it kind of a joke when this card comes up for people, and it's Sagittarius energy, third decan of Sagittarius to be exact. That is my personal decan of Sagittarius. So organized chaos, overwhelmed every minute of every day, my mind going 10,000 miles an hour on anything. This is my personal prison, I guess. But that energy, like I'll see sitting at the table and I'll be across from somebody and I'll be like, so you have this passionate idea. You really want to go for it. You start working on it and then, oh wait, what's that? Is that something I want to do that too? And then you lose sight on that other thing. Now, when you have all of this going on, when you have, your sights set on this, learning from the experiences of the past, focused on those things that might not have worked out in the past, and working with your imagination and the fantasies that come with life as well, life can be very, very overwhelming. This is the 10 of the suit, though, so it reminds us of that energy of the Wheel of Fortune. If we put some of this effort down, if we put some of this work down, or if we ask for help if we needed to and we don't have all that on our shoulders, then we're going to be able to reach our destination more quickly. We're going to be able to close that chapter and begin the next one, learning from those experiences, spinning the wheel, and beginning the next chapter of our story. 1 and 0, that's the Magician and the Fool. The reason we began this path, the reason that we're passionate about it, the reason we might feel overwhelmed by other things is because we've worked that magic in our lives. We're closer than we realize. But if we're focused on all those things that we can't achieve, all those regrets, all those things of our past, and not focused on what we want to achieve in the here and now, we can feel very, very overwhelmed. So in the here and now, the 10 of Combustion, aka the 10 of Wands, suggests that we're feeling rather overwhelmed. But we don't have to take everything on our own, all on our own. We can ask for help if we need it. We can set some of those irons down aside for the time being so we can focus on reaching one destination at a time and go back to the other ones later. Don't focus and dwell on those things we didn't achieve in the past. Focus on what we want to achieve moving forward. Shall we move forward now and see what the future might have in store? Future, again, not written, always up to chance and change. I'll give you an idea. The cards will give you an idea, but it's up to you to make it happen. Now, there's multiple cards here that have those faces again, so it's not as easy. But this one, it's kind of like secret-y, it seems. It's like kind of hiding, so I feel like that's the one that's calling to me. So we have it right there, and it's the 2 of either, yes. I'm so bad at pronouncing things, but yes, either is like the in and out, the here and now, the air, very much air. So there is the 2 of either, aka the 2 of Swords, the 2 of the mind. Now, following that 10 of Wands, or the 10 of Combustion, the 2 of either, the time of tuning out the distractions and looking within. You can see there she's got the blindfold and everything. She's got the wings. She even has this thing right here that might be like it kind of doesn't, it looks a little bit like a pocket watch. At the same time, it like looks as like a balance thing as well, like finding that balance within so we can really decide what we want our futures to be. Again, that future is not written, but following that energy of the 10 of Combustion and feeling overwhelmed, the 2 of either says, once we've put aside some of those irons, when we've given some of the work to someone else, ask for help because we needed it, and we found that calm and peace that says we can begin the next chapter, the 2 of either is the perfect next stop, or the next step in the sequence, because we have that energy of taking the time to look within, trusting our intuitions. There's the energy of the 2 right there, trusting our intuitions in order to decide where we want to go next. 2 of either is astrologically connected to the zodiac sign of Libra, the cardinal air sign of the zodiac, and a lot of times Libras are very focused on wanting to help their significant other succeed more than they are themselves. They want to lift them up. They're very fair to the people around them, but they're not exactly that fair to themselves. It's kind of like that Cancer energy, the mother of the zodiac, where you give so much energy to other people and making sure they're happy that you don't have enough time or energy left to show that same compassion and love for yourself to succeed at your own goals. So maybe the 10 of Combustion over here, that 10 of Wands, that overwhelming energy we talked about with it, that focus there and that focus there, is that focus is very dedicated on making sure other people are happy. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Life is so much better and such a better place when it comes to when everybody's there and kind and compassionate to one another. But if you're not there for yourself, then nobody's going to be happy in the end, because you're not going to have that time or energy, that love for yourself that you need to really trust yourself and focus on your own goals. So the two of either in the future position says, make time for that. Make time for that looking within, to put yourself first, to make sure that you're focused on what you want to achieve. This is your life, your story. And this is, tune out the distractions, tune that trust, tune that love and compassion within. Find that wisdom. There's the owl up there. So you have that wisdom, so you can follow your passion moving forward. That Libra energy, that cardinal air says, trust your mind. And the best way to trust our minds is to take that time to look within. So in the future, if the future doesn't actually give us this time or energy to tune in within, it says make that time for our futures. Make that time to look within, so we can find that balance within, so we can trust our intuitions more. 2, kindness, compassion, empathy, thought process, choices, balance, and intuition. The high priestess of the major arcana says when we take that time to look within, when we have kindness and compassion in our hearts, not only for others but for ourselves too, then we can make the choice to make our futures whatever we want them to be. So therein lies the future that we have, the potential that it remains, when we leave that overwhelming feeling behind and we take that time to tune our attention inward. Now let's get to the advice position of the reading. Although I do this, I'm horrible about this. Future very much sounded like advice, but hey, the future's not written. What do we need? We need advice. But that is this position now, so we're going to get it and peeky right here. Definitely the card that's calling to me. I'm going to set it right there. I'm going to turn it over in 1 second as soon as I get these cards out of the way and don't pick up my tablecloth while I do it. There we go. And there we have the moon. I love this illustration of the moon, because the moon, while it looks like, moon up in the sky and everything like that, it still looks like it's underwater, and it connects that moon energy, the moon subconscious or emotions and things like that, going into that ocean of emotion that I like to call it, and really finding that trust in ourselves, to trust our intuitions and trust our subconscious and trust that we have what it takes to come out of that ocean of emotion and achieve our dreams. The moon is often seen as a card of a crisis of faith. It's not trusting ourselves. It's being overwhelmed by life. When we look within, we don't trust those inner voices enough. We let that doubt in. The moon is astrologically connected to Pisces. Pisces is the mutable water sign of the zodiac. And there's a lot of energy there, the ebb and flow, the sometimes you're above the ocean of emotions, sometimes you're drowning in it. They can go either way there. The Sagittarius energy is mutable as well. There's good times, there's bad. If we get drowning in that negative energy, that bad time, those bad times, then we're not going to be able to trust ourselves and trust our intuitions as much. So we have to, the illustration, she's naked there. She's focusing on that. She's being true to herself. She's getting to all that, going through all that pain of her past so that she can really find the success that she wants moving forward. We have to face that darkness within. We have to take our time to tune our attention inward so we can look within and face those emotions that might be bothering us, face those emotions that might cause us not to trust our inner voices. There's the door. The door holds the potential for the future. Whatever we want that future to be, the two of either there says take that time to look within so we can trust our intuitions and trust our minds to make our futures what we want them to be. The moon appearing as the vice says take that time to trust our emotions as well, to face those emotions so we can let go of what no longer is serving us, so we can find that power to really trust our emotions and trust that we can find this happiness and joy that we deserve. 1 and 8, that's the magician with strength or justice depending on the deck we're working with. Magician energy, just like with the 10 there, says we can, every day is a fresh opportunity to begin again, to take what we've learned, spin the wheel, and begin the next chapter. 8, success and wealth, strength or justice. Those cards are very interchangeable. Like this deck, I believe strength is 8, justice is 11. Deviant Moon Tarot, for example, that one is justice is 8 and strength is 11. So there's just examples how they're interchangeable. If we find that internal strength to face what's bothering us, to find that faith in ourselves and trust our emotions and feel that joy and happiness and positivity that we deserve, then we're being fair to ourselves. When we find that internal strength to be fair to ourselves, life will be more fair to us. So the moon appearing as the advice, the major arcana card here, connecting to our energy. So it's like the life lessons, the important aspects of things. Take that time to learn from the experience of the past. Face those emotions that may be dragging us under so we can come up for air and we can focus on finding that joy and happiness that we deserve. 1 and 8, that equals 9, the number of the hermit. Spend some time, just like that future position side. Spend some time taking like that time to look inward, to decide what we really want, to learn those secrets of our souls, to learn from those feelings that we're overwhelmed. Like that 10, this particular illustration of this 10 of wands, like that focus there on the past, like looking at that past. There's much, much, much to learn from it. Don't let it make you feel overwhelmed and like that you can't achieve anything. When we take that time to look inward, when we take that time to have faith in ourselves, faith that we've got this, then we can really trust ourselves to make our dreams a reality. So that is the Boadiceas Tarot of Earthly Delights message for us. But we've got the bottom of the deck as well to see before I'll send you on your way. And here we are. Don't really have enough room there, but we'll set that down there. And there we have it. It's the Ace of Combustion, the Ace of Wands. It brings us full circle here because there's that 10. You know, we meet the members of the court after the 10, but the 1 and 0, 1 and 10, that's the numerical sequence there. So we have that new idea, that fresh opportunity. And where that 10 of wands, you know, she's focused here and she's focused there and she's very, very overwhelmed. That hand has that single flame there, and that flame is focusing towards the future. It's saying once you take that time to look within, when you tune out those distractions, when you take the time to face those emotions that are bothering us, face those things that are overwhelming us, then we can begin something new. We can begin following our passions, doing something we really, really want to do, something that lights our inner fire. The more we trust ourselves, the more we tune our attention within and trust our intuitions and leave those overwhelming feelings behind, the more we can trust we have what it takes to take action on our new passion and ideas. So the Ace of Combustion says, you know, let that inner fire lead us. Focus on what lights our inner fires, what we can bring into reality with it. You know, there's the hands. So we have that energy of there, be willing to get our hands dirty, get working on what we're passionate about. You know, leave those feelings of overwhelming behind. When we spin that wheel, begin the next chapter, finding that destination with the things that might overwhelm us. When we trust our intuitions because we've taken the time to look within, we found that faith in ourselves, faith in humanity, faith in the powers that be, we can trust that we can begin whatever we want to begin and let those inner fires lead our way forward. Now, aces and pages, neither one relate to any specific zodiac sign or planet. You know, we talked here about Pisces energy, talked here about Libra, talked here about Sagittarius. So we have passion, water and air right there. So we have our emotions in check, we have our passions in check, we have our minds in check, and those minds of ours can definitely make us or break us, and make those, and it's our emotions that cause that a lot. But that passionate energy of the Ace of Combustion, it connects to the 3 zodiac signs related to that fire. It's cardinal fire with Aries, not being afraid to take a risk, take a chance, you know, fake it till we make it if we have to. We learn as we go, you know, think everything through with the 2 of Swords there, because a lot of times like that Arian energy says, you know, I didn't think about this before I did it, might not be a good idea. So, you know, think things through, but follow that passion. Don't be afraid to go for it. Leo energy, the fixed fire zodiac, it's the showman of the zodiac. You know, a lot of celebrities out there, a lot of musicians. Mick Jagger of Rolling Stones, for example, is a Leo. You know, don't be afraid to shine. Don't be afraid to show the world what you're made of. The more you believe in yourself, the more you let that passion lead you, the more you're going to inspire others to go after their passions as well. And that's an absolutely beautiful thing. Third, and definitely not least, my opinion, because, you know, Sagittarius is awesome, but that Sagittarius energy, like we have with the 10 of Combustion or the 10 of Wands, says, you know, that learning as we go. Don't be afraid to shoot for the stars. We learn from the experiences. And Sagittarius is, we love to learn as we go. So learn from those experiences of our past. Learn from those emotions of our past. Our emotional side can help us follow that passion, because love and passion kind of go hand in hand there, right? So whatever you want to begin, whatever spark of inspiration is in your head right now, don't be overwhelmed with it. Take the time to really learn from your experiences, tune out those distractions, and decide where that fire can lead you, because you have that power to make your life what you want it to be, to make that passion, you know, help you create the success that you deserve. Don't be afraid to take action on those passionate ideas and see where they can lead you. Trust yourself, trust your emotions, trust you have everything that you need to succeed and never forget to be weird and proud and be true to who you are. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want a reading with this deck or any cards, any decks in my collection, then feel free to comment on this video, message me on the socials, or book one directly on my website. All of that is in the description below. And also, I will put a link in the description below of where you can purchase this awesome, amazing deck, Boadiceas, Tarot of Earthly Delights. Yes, how awesome. It's just that illustration, that Empress on the deck. This deck is awesome. I love it. I love the message that it shared with us. I hope you did as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you again in the next one.